Hello everybody and welcome to the MajorTim.space Young Ambassadors Award Ceremony. We're very happy to be holding this event and to have so many viewers on YouTube and many of our entrants of the competition in attendance here too. Now I'm going to introduce our judges. I'm Amelia Jane Piper, the CEO and founder of MajorTim.space. I'm also an Earth Science student studying a degree in Earth Science, and I'm going to introduce Herb Baker, who is the patron of MajorTim.space, and Herb recently retired from NASA, and Herb will tell us a little bit more about himself when he joins us just now.
Thanks, Amelia. Yes, so I worked for NASA supporting human spaceflight for 42 years, but retired in 2017. While I was at NASA, I worked on the Space Shuttle, Space Station, and Orion programs for the first 32 years or so, and then the last 10 years I spent in flight operations, which meant I got to work with the astronaut office and mission control and astronaut training and aircraft ops. And now that I'm retired, I spend most of my time doing volunteering for groups that support STEM education and doing presentations and interviews about NASA and space.
And now I'm very pleased to announce our other guest judge, who is Dr. Jackie Bell. And Dr. Jackie Bell will introduce herself when she joins us.
Thanks, Amelia. Hello, everyone. I'm Jackie. I'm a mathematician and theoretical particle physicist. I currently work at Imperial College, which is a university in London, on lots of STEM outreach and public engagement, as well as trying to improve opportunities for women and people from underrepresented backgrounds to get into STEM. And alongside all of that, I am training to hopefully one day become Britain's next ESA astronaut.
That's Jackie Bell and Herb Baker, our two judges. And we're actually going to start now by announcing our very first winner and the very first successful applicant who will be a MajorTim.space ambassador for 2021 to 2022. Now I'm going to share some slides with you now, and the first winner we're going to announce is for the 13 to 14 category. Now all the categories we had as judges, we had an immensely hard job choosing who would be the ambassadors. All of the applications were absolutely amazing, and there's such incredible enthusiasm from young people all over the UK. Now, if I share these slides with you, we're going to announce our very first winner. Right, so we are going to be announcing the 13 to 14 winner first. So here's a little reminder of who the judges are. And like I said, we had a very difficult job choosing who would be the ambassadors. Every young person who entered deserved the position, but unfortunately we can only pick the 3 and the 1 honoree. I'll tell you a little bit more about that position later on. So we're going to start by announcing the 13 to 14 category winner. Now, there was many fantastic entries in this category. And like I said, with all categories, it was very, very difficult to pick a winner. But the winner, I'm very pleased to announce, the winner in this category is Emily Penman, who's age 14.
Well done, Emily.
I'm going to introduce Emily into the meeting now, and we can bring her back.
Yes, congratulations, Emily.
We're just waiting for Emily to join us.
Brilliant.
There you go. Let me just unmute Emily so she can share her video.
Hi.
Hi, Emily.
Hi, I'm very glad to have this opportunity. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Should I turn my camera on?
Yes, if you could. That'd be great, Emily, if you could turn that on.
I don't think it's working. Oh no. Yeah, my camera isn't turning on, I'm sorry.
Right, it should work now for you.
Okay, here we go. Hi.
Hello, that's much better.
Well, hello, Emily, and very big congratulations to you. Very well done. Emily's application was very well detailed, and it really did show her clear passion for STEM. It was very apparent from her application that she's fascinated by the world around her and wants to further her knowledge. And if Herb and Jackie would like to say anything to Emily.
I guess I'll start. So yeah, I mean, congratulations. It's great that you'd like to become an ambassador. How do you envision your ambassadorial duties, apologies, playing out over the next year? What are your plans?
I'm not entirely sure, but I think I'd like to introduce more people into trying to get into STEM, and like more of my friends and teenagers to be more interested in this kind of topics.
And how do you feel about being elected as the 13 to 14 ambassador?
I'm very pleased. I'm very happy. I'm glad that I have like an opportunity to do something like this.
Yes, and
So
I
I
just
can-
want to say, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, no, you go.
Congratulations again. I'm very happy that you were selected.
Thank you.
And a very well done again, Emily. And congratulations from all of us.
Thanks.
Now, we're going to say bye to Emily and move on to the next category, which is which will be the 10 to 12 category.
Brilliant. So the 10 to 12 category, I was judging this group, and yeah, it was very, very difficult, as Amelia said. It was extremely difficult to choose a winner. You were all very passionate about STEM, and had a clear, you're all very great on YouTube as well, can I just say? So all the videos that we saw were brilliant. And so without much further ado, the person that I chose to be the ambassador for the 10 to 12 category for 2021-22.
If Jackie wants to share her slide for the ambassador.
Yeah, sure. One sec. Yep, so hopefully you can see my slides now. Can you just confirm that, Amelia?
Yes, so we can see your slides nice and clear, Jackie.
Brilliant, apologies. So yeah, this is a really difficult category to judge. But the person that I went for was someone who not only really had a passion for STEM, but also had a passion for their community as well, and a passion for people. And I think that when we think about space flight and when we think about STEM education, one of the big things that we need to consider is not only what's out in space and what there is to explore off the planet, but also what there is to explore on the planet. And our planet is very fragile and something that we need to really look after. And so the person that I am choosing for the winner for the 10 to 12 category for 2021-2022 is Seren Shaw. So Seren Shaw, congratulations. In your application, you not only expressed your interest and passion for STEM, but you also showed great promise as a climate change activist. And I thought that this was very important. And I know that you'd make a great ambassador.
Now we'll bring her back and we'll go and get Seren from the attendees list and bring her into the meeting.
Yes, and so as Amelia and Jackie mentioned, I saw several very good entries, and this was much more difficult to select one person from than I was expecting. Amelia, I think, do you have the slide ready? So I'll go ahead.
So we're going to just speak to Seren now, who's joining us.
Hi, Seren. She's just appeared. Yeah. Hello.
Hi.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed reading over your application, and it was great to see that passion. I guess the same question that I asked earlier. So how do you envision your ambassadorial duties playing out over the next year? What are your plans?
Well, obviously, like raising awareness for the planet, and I like to meet with like lots of new people and just see how it goes.
And I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Emily before. How do you feel? What was your first reaction when Jackie announced that you were the winner?
I wasn't really expecting it, but I was very pleased.
And Seren, your application was absolutely fantastic and very well done for being the chosen applicant. And we look forward to you joining us as our 10 to 12 age category ambassador. And Herb's come back now.
Yes, and I want to say I got to see your video too, and I was very, very impressed. That was a wonderful message. Looking forward to working with you.
Yeah, I'm
Thank
looking
you.
forward to seeing what you bring to MajorTim.space as well, and how you improve STEM education amongst your friends and get more of your friends and peers into saving the planet, which is very important right now. So well done again.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Seren. Now we're going to now announce the next category winner, which is the 7 to 9.
So now it's my turn. I was getting a little ahead of the program here.
So we're just going to attempt to get your slide up, Herb.
Okay. Yeah, so as I was mentioning, I was, I hate to say surprised, but very impressed by the entries of the 7 to 9-year-olds. It's wonderful to see so many very young folks so interested in science and STEM. I think back to when I was 7 to 9 years old, and wow, I just went outside and played sports and rode my bicycle. Of course, back then there was no internet or that kind of thing that made a lot of the information and videos available to kids my age. But anyway, it's very nice to see so much interest in kids so young. So I will go ahead and announce that the winner I did pick for the 7 to 9 category for the Young Ambassador for 2021 to 2022 was Myle Ali Faraz. Myle had very good answers to the questions. I like that you want to impart your love of STEM to other children. You already have your own website with pictures and videos and stories about some of the science you've studied. And you also included a video, of course, which not everyone did. And so even though it wasn't required, it was very helpful. So congratulations.
And congratulations to you, Myle. We're just going to bring you in now. You can come and speak to us.
Hi. I honestly just don't know what to say.
You should be able to share your video now.
Again, just okay.
There you are.
Hi.
Hi, congratulations.
Yes.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. So I checked out
I'm
your
absolutely speechless.
So that reminds me of a question I wanted to ask. I checked out your website and lots of posts. One of the things Amelia had talked about the ambassadors doing is possibly interviewing professionals during the year. I'm just curious, have you ever had the opportunity to do something like that and maybe post that on your website?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you'll enjoy.
go on, Herb.
You'll enjoy that.
And what was your reaction when Herb announced you as the winner? Exactly the same question I asked Emily and Seren. What was your reaction? I know you said you were speechless, but were you expecting to receive the position?
I kind of.
It's good. It's good to be confident.
That's good.
And what are you most looking forward to being able to do in your role?
The interviewing. I really want to broaden my knowledge of STEM.
Great.
That's absolutely fantastic.
And is STEM something that your friends are interested in as well?
My internet's kind of unstable.
Oh, don't worry.
Can you say that again?
Don't worry. I was just saying, is STEM something that your friends are interested in as well?
No, they have no idea about it.
So maybe that could be your first step then, is kind of changing your friends' opinions and interviewing
Yes.
some of those.
Making them interested too.
Yeah.
Maybe all your friends will be applying to be ambassadors next year. So congratulations again, Myle, and
Yes.
we very much look forward to working with you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
well done, Myle.
Bye. Now we're going to move on to the role that everybody has been waiting to hear, who's received this honorary title. And we're going to announce the Honorary Young Ambassador. Now, this was judged out of all categories, which made it even more difficult, even more challenging to pick one of you fantastic young people. But we had to choose one, and the young person was judged on the basis that that application showed their true enthusiasm for STEM. Now, I'm very pleased to announce that the Young Ambassador, the Honorary Young Ambassador, is Tom Jones, who's aged 10. Now, Tom's application showed his very clear passion for STEM, and the fact that he wants to help other people learn about science and space. And we're just going to bring Tom in now, so he can come and speak to the judges. Just wait for Tom to join us.
I can't turn my video on.
You'll be able to now, Tom.
Hi.
Sure. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
Congratulations.
Like I said, it made our decision as judges very difficult to pick an honorary ambassador when this was judged out of all of the applicants. Now, Tom was chosen as honorary ambassador based on his enthusiasm for STEM that was demonstrated in his application. Tom highlighted that he wants to inspire his peers with STEM, space, and we believe that Tom will be a fantastic honorary ambassador, hardworking and very committed to the role.
Yeah, I really enjoyed your video.
Yeah, me too. Your poster was great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How do you feel, Tom, when we announced that you were the honorary ambassador? How did it make you feel?
Happy and ecstatic.
Wonderful.
And what are you most looking forward to about the role, Tom? Because don't forget, as the honorary ambassador, you are entitled to hold the role until you turn 14.
Probably interviewing people.
And I know you mentioned in your application you want to inspire others to get interested in science and have the joy of STEM that you have yourself.
Yeah.
Great. So what will be your first steps then before you start interviewing people? What are you planning?
First, to get all the people in my class that don't like science to like STEM.
Brilliant. That's a good start. I like that.
And going back to Jackie's question that she asked Myle, are any of your friends interested in science?
Yeah, some of them.
Good. And which subjects do you like the most? I know your application was in my category as well. It was very hard to choose. So I read a little bit about you, but I don't know that much.
My favourite subjects in school are science, computing, maths, and that's it.
And that's it.
Are you interested in space?
Yeah.
Good.
And what do you hope to do as a career, Tom? What do you want to pursue as a career?
Probably be a scientist.
Any particular branch of science? Any particular field?
I don't really have one.
Maybe
You've got
that's,
a little while. You've got a
Yeah.
little time to decide.
I was just about to say the same. You've got a little while to decide, and maybe in this next 4 years, when you're an honorary ambassador, you'll come across loads of different people who you interview, and you'll pick up a few different topics that you might go into when you're older.
And even by the time you get to university, you may change your mind.
Very true.
And I know you listed quite a few hobbies in your application. So do you want to tell us your absolute favourite hobby, the one you're most passionate about?
Probably golf.
Oh,
Nice.
No, congratulations, Tom. Very, very, very well done on becoming the Honorary Ambassador.
Yeah.
And we really look forward to working with you. And apart from interviewing, obviously you want to inspire others
Yeah.
to be involved in STEM. Think you'll be inspiring your friends, your classmates?
Yeah.
And that's great. Well, thank you very much, Tom, for joining us today.
Yeah,
And we really look forward to
congratulations
working
again.
with you.
yes.
Congratulations again, Tom. Well, that is all of our winners announced. And it's been an absolute honour to judge all these fantastic applicants from inspiring young people all around the UK. And we're going to be taking questions now on YouTube and both here as well. So if any of the entrants would like to submit any questions to the judges, please pop those into the Zoom chat or into the YouTube chat, wherever you're watching from. And we've had a question through asking about the application process, about what the applicants had to show in their applications to be picked as Honorary Ambassador. So as judges, we were looking for the person who showed the most enthusiasm and commitment to STEM and inspiring others in STEM. And like I said, we had so many entries and it was so difficult to pick any winners out of you, because they were all fantastic entries and everyone deserved to be an ambassador. And it was absolutely amazing to see so many young people fascinated by the wonders of space and STEM.
Yeah, I agree with Amelia. I didn't think it was going to be so hard to choose a winner, but it took me a few days to look back over applications and watch all your videos and then sleep on it and then look again just to make sure that I'd picked the right person, because everyone was so fantastic. But I still think that as well as your passion for STEM, it's great to have the passion for, you know, your fellow humans, humankind, our planet, the animals on it, everything that's living on it. We have to really look after what we've got because we only have this planet.
Yes, and there are several of the entries I was able to read that, you know, again, very happy and impressed with what I saw and read it. And I just hope that just because you may not have been selected for this particular position, that it doesn't in any way, you know, keep you or prevent you from doing everything you want to do with STEM and promoting it and telling your friends about it and doing experiments and learning more about science.
Yeah, I completely agree. So you're already all doing amazingly fantastic things, more than I was doing at your age. So
Yes.
just keep up the amazing work and keep inspiring, as Herb says, your friends, your peers, your family members. Just
Yes.
keep up the amazing work.
I encourage everybody to apply for the Young Ambassador programme again next year. All the applicants who weren't chosen this year, I very strongly recommend you apply again next year. So we picked the winners based on how well they've demonstrated their passion for STEM in their application. And we had, like Jackie said, they were all absolutely fantastic. And as Herb said, you know, just because you weren't picked we very much want you to apply again next year and continue with your STEM journey. And continue to inspire other people around you with science and STEM. Now, I can see we've actually had a couple of questions come through, and we've had one from Ruben Harvey Smith, who was also an entrant, and he's asking, if astronauts are looking for aliens, how do they know they're there because they never found one?
Well, I will tell you what I think about aliens. If you have any idea and understanding the concept of how large our universe is, that there has to be somewhere, on some planet, they may not look like us, but I absolutely firmly believe and am convinced that somewhere out there in this huge universe of ours, that there is other, I'm not sure I could call them humans, but aliens, some type of at least semi-intelligent life form. There just has to be.
Yeah, I agree. The universe is so vast that the chances of there not being any other sort of life forms, I just can't really comprehend that. There must be, as Herb says, there's got to be something out there. How intelligent it is, who knows? Whether we'll ever make contact, who knows again? So that's why we need scientists. You know, there's scientists working on this right now, engineers. We're sending these missions to Mars very recently. You'll have seen the recent missions going to Mars, landed on Mars, or going into Mars orbit. And all of these things are looking for life. So I'm sure if you continue on that space track, that's an area that you can work in as well.
Yeah, it reminds me of a quote. I can't remember who it's attributed to, but it was something like, whether we're alone in the universe or we're not alone in the universe, both are equally as scary.
Yeah.
And I have a question for both Herb and Jackie. What inspired you into STEM? What kickstarted your passion and fired your enthusiasm for science?
Ladies first.
So for me, it was I just had a lot of curiosity for everything around me. I was one of those kids that asked why so many times that it annoyed my parents. And I also liked reading as well. So I absolutely love to read. I love to read adventure stories and sci-fi and all of this kind of fantasy stuff that maybe, you know, doesn't exist here on Earth, or at least not yet. And that really inspired me to get into STEM and to start, you know, I would be designing things at your age and trying to solve all the world's problems. And, you know, just like Seren in her application, I had a big passion for helping people in my community. And I think it was that passion to want to help people that made me pick a STEM career.
So for me, it was just a matter of being lucky, being at the right place at the right time. I happened to be growing up just a few miles from where they built the Manned Spacecraft Center, which is now the Johnson Space Center. And so I was 13 years old in middle school when it opened, and all of the original 7 astronauts and also the second class of astronauts moved into my community. And so their children were suddenly my classmates and friends in middle school. And so almost all through high school, almost every friend I had, they were either the child of an astronaut or one of their other parents worked, had another job at NASA. And then of course, when NASA offered me a job, I jumped at it. And so I got to spend the next 40 something years working with scientists and engineers and astronauts and doctors, and loved every minute of it. And so now as I mentioned earlier, I spend most of my time promoting STEM in especially children.
Oh, you're on mute, Amelia.
Sorry about that. Just a small technical error. We don't seem to have many questions coming through at the moment. I think we will close the live stream off in a couple of minutes. So if anyone else does have any questions, please do feel free to ask them.
I think
And-
with all of Herb's kind of experience and, you know, astronaut friends or astronauts' children's friends, I guess I'll be a bit selfish and ask a question myself. So as someone who's hoping to apply for the ESA selection at the end of March, what tips would you have for I guess, so my journey so far, I've done a STEM degree, I did my PhD, I'm learning to fly a helicopter. My swimming could be improved, anyone who knows me knows that. But what sort of practical tips would you recommend for someone who wanted to follow the astronaut path?
Well, so it sounds as if you're on the right path. You know, a lot of times I've asked, and I've heard astronauts being asked, well, you know, what should I study? What should I major in college? And there's no right answer for that. The answer is pick, you know, first of all, it's almost impossible to be picked, right? Out of the last application process we had, we received 18,300 applications and picked 12, I think.
I know.
And so
Crazy.
luck is a huge part of it. And there's nothing you can do about that. And so education is clearly part of it. Pilot's license, you know, even if you're not a pilot of you know, the vehicle, that's something good to have on the resume. Some other, you know, some other activity, mountain climbing or scuba diving or something like that. And another thing that if there's some way to show that, because this is one thing they really look for, is being able to work in a team. You know, I was just actually just happened to be listening to Ellen Ochoa speak yesterday, and that was one thing she mentioned, was that you know, she didn't really realize how important and teamwork is, and how much basically everything you do at NASA is part of a team, especially of an astronaut crew. You know, you get formed as a team a year in advance of being assigned to a mission. And so that reminds me, one other thing she said I want to mention too, speaking about STEM kind of things, is she grew up you know, in the 70s and 80s as a woman, Latina. And so there were a lot of people who were not encouraging her. You know, they in fact were actively discouraging her in entering STEM. And she said something, I can't remember the quote exactly, but it was something like, you know, pay attention to the people who know you and trust you, and don't pay attention to the people who don't know you and or might be discouraging you to, oh, that's not really for you, that's not a field for you, that's not a subject you could take, because they don't know you. She said, you know, the people who know you know what you can bring, your desire and passion and intelligence. And so, in fact, that's why she said she ended up majoring in physics in college, is that one of her professors told her that they didn't think she could succeed in one field, but she went to speak to a physics professor, and he was very encouraging and convinced her to major in that. And, you know, make a long story short, she has become, you know, one of my favorite astronauts ever.
Thanks. That's
Anyway,
really
I hope that's
helpful.
helpful.
Yeah, no, it is. It's really helpful. And I think it's really inspiring as well for those of you who've applied to become ambassadors or who are the 2021 ambassadors. You know, the teamwork thing I think is really important, and I hope that there'll be an aspect of teamwork within the ambassador group. And then also those of you who didn't become ambassadors this year but are still doing amazing things. I think exactly what Herb said, that teamwork is really vital if you want to bring about change. So hopefully you can all work together once we're all back to normal and everyone can see each other again. I'm hoping there'll be a lot of teamwork.
We just had a comment from Ruben Harvey Smith, who's just letting us know that what started him into space is the YouTube channel Mr. Scientific.
Oh, very good. Well, we all need our role models as well. That's
Yes.
very important. And, you know, you might not know it now, but you'll be role models for other people, or, you know, you might be role models now, or you might be role models in the future. And so just as Mr. Scientific has inspired you, you might inspire somebody else. And I think that's a really nice feeling.
Well, if anybody wants to share who their role models are with us, please feel free to. And while you do that, I've got a question for Jackie, actually. Jackie, you've mentioned you're applying to the ESA astronaut applications. I just wondered what training you personally have done.
Yeah, so it's been tricky this last year since everything's been locked down, especially here in the UK, as most of you will know. Just never seems to be ending. But so apart from being on the BBC's documentary Astronauts Do Have What It Takes in 2017, where I got about halfway through the process, since then I've learned to swim. I was swimming quite regularly up until, well, maybe even last year now. So I'd like to get back in the pool as soon as possible so that I know I'm still confident in the water. I'm about halfway through my pilot's license. Again, looking forward to getting back in the air. I go running in the morning, so I'm trying to keep my cardio fitness up to the right level. I think that that's really important. It's something that can fall so quickly when you're at home. And, you know, I work here at the desk. I've been working at home for the past year now. So it's very easy to sit here for, you know, a week without really moving. You go to the kitchen or the bathroom and then you come back to the desk. So that I've been going for runs. I've been doing fitness classes online with my friends. I've been trying to challenge myself as much as possible, doing some extra courses, learning a little bit of geology as well, because I know that could be important as an astronaut. And then I'm currently reading Tim Peake's autobiography. It's sitting here right on my desk. I'm about halfway through. So that's been inspiring me as well. And yeah, I just hope that when we come out of this, I'm able to go camping and do some more rock climbing and do all of these adventure activities, which we can't really do right now. So it's kind of, yeah, I think Herb summed it up nicely. You can't really study one subject. It's a bit of everything. And I think for those of you who expressed in your application that you're an all-rounder and you like, you know, all aspects of STEM, I think that's a great start as well if you want to become an astronaut, because you have to be a medic, an engineer, a technician, a scientist. You've got to be all of these things. So the earlier you start, so those of you who are, you know, in the 7 to 9 category and you're already showing all of these qualities, I think that's an amazing start for you. And
Jackie, you work at the Imperial College in London. What's your job? What's your role at the Imperial College?
Yeah, so currently I'm a teaching fellow there in the Department of Computing. So again, I know some of you expressed an interest in coding. So I work teaching undergraduate students doing their bachelor's degree, but I also play a huge part in our equality work, so trying to improve conditions for women and those from underrepresented groups, so minority groups, so trying to get more Black students, for example, to stay in academia and progress through, trying to make progression routes for women more fair, I guess is the right word. And then I work with schools as well. I go into schools or community groups and just try and get more people to get into STEM, which is why when Amelia asked me to be a judge, I said, yeah, it'd be wonderful, because that's what everyone else is trying to do as well, trying to get as many people into STEM as possible. And
we've had a couple of role models coming through. Jerry Stone has mentioned Arthur C. Clarke. And what I think is really nice, Myle has commented, and he says his inspiration is his grandma. So your role model doesn't have to be a celebrity, it doesn't have to be someone else in the limelight. It can be someone in your family, it can be a friend.
And you know, it can be something very small that triggers, you know, interest or excitement or something. And of course, space flight is an obvious, and that's nothing small, but I'm struck by how often I've heard people, not just astronauts, but other people who worked at NASA and the space industry talk about seeing one launch and forever changing their life. You know, just, wow, I want to do that, or I want to work in that field when I grow up, and they do. You know, not everyone does, but again, it can be the smallest little thing that they see or see you doing or see someone else doing that can change your life.
Yeah, and you know what I love about it is that it can happen at any time in your life as
Yes.
well. So
When you least expect it.
yeah, and so you can have this path at like 8 years old where you're inspired by one thing, and then you become an adult and you're inspired by something else. And you know, I never ever thought that I would learn to fly. I just never thought it was something that would be available to someone like me. I thought you had to be rich to learn to fly, and yeah, I guess I started flying when I was 29. So yeah, for all of you on the call, I'm sure 29 seems quite far away from you at, you know, 10 and 11. But you can be inspired at absolutely any age. And I'm sure that I'll continue to be inspired throughout my life through, you know, other aspects of STEM as well.
And, you know, if you can't find a role model, someone who's a complete role model to you, then be a role model. You know, every young person who entered demonstrated such a strong and clear passion and enthusiasm for everything STEM and space, engineering, robotics, coding. It was fantastic to see that all these young people are fantastic role models to their peers and to the people around them. And Ruben has just wants to let us know that the best power is knowledge.
Oh yeah.
Which I agree with him. It is that is a superpower. Knowledge is a superpower.
Definitely.
And Jerry wants to add, so you want to be an astronaut. When we go to Mars, as well as people, to actually fly the spacecraft, we'll need doctors, geologists, engineers, biologists, and botanists. I saw the very last Apollo mission launched from the Cape in 1975. Oh,
wow. So there you go. So maybe that was a moment of inspiration as well for that person.
Now I want to say thank you very much for everyone for joining us. Thank you to all our entrants. Thank you to our YouTube audience, and a very sincere thank you to our fantastic judges, our patron Herb Baker and Dr. Jackie Bell.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Amelia, for hosting this and putting together such an amazing programme. I'm sure the ambassadors are going to be fantastic, and I look forward to seeing all the great work that you continue to do.
Yes, thank you for all the hard work you put into this, Amelia.
You're very welcome, and it's such an honour to provide activities for young people, young inspiring astronauts, young people who aspire to be astronauts, scientists, engineers, geologists. The list is endless, but it's such an honour to provide these activities for both adults and young people. And I do encourage you to check out our social media channels. There is another slide which I'm going to try and share with you now. I'll just skip through all these. I can't seem to reach my slide, but we're going to say a very big thank you now for everybody for joining us, and do follow us. Oh, thank you, Jackie, for pulling up that slide. Thank you very much to everyone for joining us. It's been fantastic. And we're going to say thank you, and we're going to say bye now. Keep exploring space and STEM. Thank you for joining us. Bye.
Good luck, everyone.